Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Joseph Chu, and I'm the Chief Academic Officer for Gus Medical Arts Reeducation and the president of Saba University. On behalf of Gus Medical, I would like to welcome all the graduating physicians, parents, families, and friends to this exciting and long-anticipated day. This is the first graduation we've had in 4 years, and it's nice to kind of get back to normal. At this point, I would like to also acknowledge people we have lost over the last year. Many of you knew Sukhwinder Singh, affectionately known as Bonnie, a member of the Saba community. We extend our deepest condolences to his family and friends and loved ones as we remember his remarkable journey as a student, his intense potential and profound impact he made on those around him. In recognition of his accomplishments and a testimony to his enduring legacy, we are proud to announce that Bonnie will receive a posthumous award of an honorary degree. To our graduates from MUA and Saba, you have done it. Hours and hours of studying and hard work, many times of uncertainty and anxiety, you did it. But please remember, you did not do it alone. Your parents, grandparents, siblings, and friends have all contributed to help you reach this significant day. At this point, graduates, I'd like you to stand and turn to your loved ones in the audience and give them a round of applause for their support and help. Next, Dr. Green, Executive Dean of MUA, will address you.
Good morning, everyone. I didn't actually expect a response, but thank you. My name is Gordon Green. I'm the Executive Dean of Medical University of the Americas. I too would like to welcome all of you to this very special event. The focus, rightly so, on the graduates. I would especially like to thank the parents, the family members, and the friends who've really made all of this possible. Their patience, love, and support has been instrumental in getting our graduates to where they need to be, which is here today. I would also like to take the opportunity to introduce the members of the stage party, beginning with Ms. Cindy McLeod, who's the CEO of Global University Systems Canada and the Americas. And Victoria Martin, Chief Commercial and Compliance Officer of Gus Canada and the Americas. From the campuses, we have Dr. Rachel Robson, Associate Dean of Basic Sciences, and Dr. Robert Bancroft, Associate Dean of Basic Sciences. From the clinical departments, Dr. Paula Habib, Associate Dean of Clinical Medicine, Dr. Rock Ripple, Associate Dean of Clinical Medicine, Dr. Heidi Eichenberg, Assistant Dean of Clinical Medicine, Dr. Glenn Jones, Assistant Dean of Clinical Medicine, Dr. John Hudźnowski, Assistant Dean of Clinical Medicine, Dr. Linda Bernardo Demo, Associate Dean of Student Support, and Dr. Jim Brusick, Associate Dean for Medical Education. And from our Board of Trustees, Dr. John Doherty, Chair of the Board of Trustees, and Dr. Pankaj Desai. I'll now turn it back to Dr. Chu to introduce our commencement speaker.
Thank you, Dr. Green. We have the pleasure today of having a very unique, talented, and one-of-a-kind physician intellectual. Dr. Mora received an honors bachelor's degree of science in physiology at Western University. He subsequently attended University of Toronto, where he received his Doctor of Medicine, completed his residency and chief residency in internal medicine, as well as the clinician educator program. Later, he returned to University of Toronto to attend the Rotman School of Management and received an MBA. He is a fellow of the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada, a fellow of the Internal Medicine College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario, Canada. Dr. Morrow is currently Chief Clinical Innovation Officer at Trillium Health Partners in Mississauga, Ontario, Professor, Faculty of Medicine, University of Toronto, in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Dr. Moore's impact extends far beyond clinical practice. He has played a pivotal role in shaping health policy, driving quality improvement initiatives, and championing patient safety at both provincial and national level. In addition, Dr. Mora has been an excellent teacher of students and residents. It is our good fortune today to have Dr. Mora come and address our graduates and their families today. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Mora.
Just get set up here. Wow. It is absolutely such a pleasure to be with you here today. To the amazing graduating classes of SEVA and the Medical Universities of America, to your friends, to your families, to the trustees, faculty, and leadership, thank you for inviting me to be here with you and to share this incredibly important movement. Today is a day that you've worked so hard for, from literally dreams as a child to hundreds of exams, entrance essays, to things like MCATs and OSCEs and clerkship. And I hope my words in some way contribute to this incredible time. There are so many things I want to share with you. Do we discuss the idea of wisdom versus intelligence? Do we talk about how you maintain that special place in your heart that maintains passion through adversity and builds resilience? Or should we talk about being the difference between successful at something or being a successful person? I want to discuss all these things with you, but I've decided to explore something slightly different. I hope it'll guide you through the next years, and it holds what I believe to be one of the greatest tensions of thinking, and two truths that I believe to be contradictories. There's something I know to be true, and that is you have to leave it all on the field. It's okay to be carried off, to be told they don't love you back, to dance and to fall, but it's actually not okay to hold back and waste your talent too. I would say if I have any advice for this class, it is leave it all on the field. And I believe this concept will naturally resonate with these graduating classes of high performers. But the tension is understanding what the game is you're playing and not being lost in winning and missing the why of what you do and the context of the game. I can simply tell you that when you focus on inches, you can lose yourself in the game. In essence, the challenge is knowing what game you're playing. There are many people who have taught me about this tension, and I'd like to start off with a boy named Patrick. It was the summer of 1989 when I met Patrick. And I know for many of you that's really hard to imagine, but just think about Stranger Things and just advance a little bit. You see, Patrick was 11 years old. He was smart, he was handsome, and he was everything you wish an 11-year-old boy could be. And I'm not an expert on athletic ability, but Patrick was an amazing athlete. He could throw a ball 70 miles an hour. He could hit anything. He was the best at soccer, the fastest runner, and amazingly, he could outswim, bounce, dive kids 3 years old. If I remember correctly, the was also a bit of paper mache and arts and crafts. It sort of reminds me a little bit of all of you. He was also the most competitive kid I've ever met. He would slide tackle a 5-year-old, capture all the kids and capture the flag, and he played to win at everything he did. I believe it was actually that very trait that made him so talented. Sure, he had natural ability, but he honed every skill. He fought for every odd yard. He competed for everything against anyone with every complete ferocity. He'd always pick the best kids on his teams. And you could try and compensate against Patrick, but his team always won. He was always strong and he would weed out and beat weakness. I'd never seen anything like it, and I deeply respected his talents. You see, I was his 15-year-old camp counselor, and I had the pleasure of working at the Summer Activity Center that had kids ages 6 to 12. You could argue it was my first official leadership role. And after the odd fair slide tackle on a 6-year-old, I would sort of pull Patrick aside and talk about how maybe make it a value for everyone, maybe let up a little bit, maybe take leadership. You see, I've come from a home with a sibling with needs, and I tried hard to work on Patrick's sense of helping. You could say his values, that not every single action was a zero-sum game, and we need to create value for others. He had absolutely nothing to do with it. I spent 8 weeks with him and 30 kids every day, and I actually believe if I instilled anything, a stronger desire to win. Let's get back to Patrick in a moment and talk about this great class. So I don't like to be stereotyped, and I suspect you do not as well, but I'd like to propose a few highly likely hypotheses about this graduating classes and draw upon some of my observations. I'm a physician who's been a clinician, a teacher, an educator, a hospital and system leader. And of what I know of you and your program, I'm incredibly impressed by the preparation you've been given to become leading physicians. In fact, just this week, I was speaking with Dr. Dan Gitlett, and he is a chief of medicine at Trillium Health Partners, who is a graduate of SEMA. Trillium Health Partners is one of Canada's largest academically affiliated hospitals, and Dan Gitlett is one of Canada's best leaders and led as the chief of medicine through the pandemic. He is an outstanding graduate, and he talked about his experience at SEMA and the education he's had in his journey and that impact. You've worked incredibly hard. You persevered, and when many would have given up, you continued to persevere. As you sit here, there are so many reasons why you should not become a doctor. So many moments when it would have been just a little bit easier not to follow the path. I hope you feel a deep sense of accomplishment and pride. I share your pride, and I suspect I'm not the only one in this room who does. You are surrounded by your parents, your family, your friends, your partners. They are smiling down on you with a palpable feeling of pride in what you've accomplished, who you are, how hard you worked, and what your future may be. For some, you are their dream, and they sacrifice every waking moment. And I suspect there's more than one who sacrificed their own dreams for you. They should be proud of you. You studied while others went out. You spent time figuring out carbons on organic chemistry sets. You memorized the Krebs cycle, not once, but likely 3 times. You wrote and rewrote your personal essays. You did research projects with random people on odd things. And you are part of the COVID grads. You dealt with ambiguity, isolation, and masks that literally broke down your skin on your face. There were so many reasons to stop, but you fought for inches. You do not stand in the top 10% of academic success, but likely in the 0.1% of academic success. You are healthy and strong and competitive. I also know you care and you are thoughtful and want to please. I know how much pride you will take in being a doctor, and I know that the pride will be amplified 10 times by looking in the eyes of the loved ones. It is this combination that makes you the finest. I want to thank the deans, the faculty, the trustees, the administrators, the leaders, Cindy and the leadership team of Gus, for creating this environment and expert instruction. You've been given an excellent education. These people around you have dedicated their lives to building a new generation of physicians. You were tested, retested, and watched. You've been developed into outstanding clinicians. You're prepared, but the world is changing fast. With an aging population and chronic disease, as well as a physician supply with an average age of 55, the demand is insatiable for you. You will have tremendous business. Transparency. The age of privacy is completely over. Your surgeries will be videotaped, your movements reviewed, your diagnosis is evaluated, and your conduct must be impeccable. You will see technology move at a pace that has never been seen, accelerating almost every month. Your knowledge is unfortunately out of date, and there'll be 1 trillion objects on the internet, and our profession is being rapidly disrupted just as you start to get comfortable. You will resemble an intelligent, skilled object in that matrix more than an autonomous profession. In fact, the disruption of jobs will happen at a rate that is almost unimaginable. We have seen it through manufacturing, first with Uber and then self-driving cars. You have to sort of wonder, how many people make their living by just moving things around? Well, it's about 3.6 million in the US alone, about 3% of employment. It may seem not like a lot, but many forecast disruption of approximately 45% of employment in the next 30 years. And you have to know that society starts to break down at about 25%. And that's when it was at the Great Depression. So you're going to see automation revolution at a scale that will accelerate at increasing paces. And with every push of technology, there will be significant effects on society of how that technology is used. Throughout history, technology has been used to help lift and divide and destroy. We will need strong voices over the next several years. And please do not forget that within the last 8 years, we used manufacturing principles to eradicate cultures. Maybe we should get back to Patrick before we start talking about the Hunger Games, The Last of Us, or some dystopian world. So, it was our last day at camp, and we had our big inter-camp competition. The sport was baseball. We had, of course, beaten all the other teams with Patrick's home runs, plays, and his coaching. We had finally met our match. It was Abbey Lane School. This was tense, and eventually looked like we might not win. It was hot, it was sweaty, and as intense as underhand softball can get. It's sort of funny that how intense it is to an 8-year-old, but it was the World Series. I guess it's sort of funny that if you zoom out enough and you go wide enough, you can truly get some perspective, and maybe we should learn that from later. I still remember the look on the kids' faces as Charlie showed to play for the other team. You see, Charlie had cerebral palsy. Although he was fairly big, and he was 14 years old, he ran as fast as a 5-year-old, and he wasn't very coordinated. He was actually at our camp for the July month, but he had moved, and now he was an Abbey Lane kid. And I spent a lot of time with the kids, trying to help them make Charlie feel welcome. It was often so heartbreaking, because kids can be so super mean, but I guess so can adults. They just do it differently. He never hit a ball. He was always chosen last, but that was his life. He was dropped off late for the baseball game, as it often happened. And I can see those kids' face as he walked to the field. You see, 8-year-olds can't hide it. Charlie was an Abbey Lane kid. My team with Patrick at the lead, they looked like hyenas, smiling, so happy, ready to pounce as they knew this might tip the scales. His own teammates said terrible things. Can't we send him back? It's not fair. We hate him. And he makes us worse. The counselors quieted them down, but Charlie heard them, as he always had. It was halfway through the game, we were up by 1, and the competition was fierce. They rotated him in the batting order, placed him in right field with another kid close by. My kids were like counting cards at a casino. They made sure Charlie batted on time, every time, easy out. It was that moment. We were up by 1 run, bottom of the 9th, and people on 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. The team tried to sneak another player in. but we knew it was Charlie's turn. The game was over. We all knew it. The kids started packing up their stuff. First pitch, Charlie just forgot to swing. It was a ball. Never make that mistake again. Second pitch, right down the middle. Charlie missed by a mile, as he always did. Third pitch, right down the middle. He swung 5-6 miles away. Kids were cheering, we would win. Pitch. The other team held their heads in disgust. Why did they have to get Charlie? There's certain moments when time stands still and life becomes a movie. I've often found that in life, the only difference, unlike Disney, is it seems that the nice person with the leg infection dies, and the jerk that has been shot 5 times lives. And that actually bad people do get away with things. Maybe we should remember that as well. I can honestly say I've never actually seen a miracle, but this is the closest that I've known. For the first time in the entire summer, Charlie made contact. It was total luck. Almost probability that in his life of swinging at balls, eventually the odds were he would hit one. I'd like to end the story and say he hit a base hit or a home run, but this is reality. He's weak and uncoordinated, but I was so surprised I almost fell over. Slow grounder into the shortstop. And there's a motion that really talented players have that is so elegant, where they take the ball and put it right to their throwing hand. Precision and perfection. And that's exactly what it looked like as the ball went to Patrick. Quick break. I feel like getting into the automation and what lies ahead justice. The funny thing is, despite all the things I said about the external environment and changes in healthcare, I actually don't worry for you in the graduating class. I wish you would take care of yourself. To know that when you go into the health-being professions, you change, and that there is a cumulative trauma that you feel, that you protect yourself. But I do not worry for this class. You now, after today, are part of the privileged. You are part of the top 2% of income. And in healthcare, one of the last industries will be disrupted. I know you're adaptable and smart. You will compete for inches. You will learn at terrific speeds. You, now, are the lucky ones. You've been given every advantage now, and you have joined a highly regulated, protected industry with incredible status. You might even be desensitized to the status and how people treat you so well. What it means to be called a doctor. And you can walk into a room and they will tell you things immediately that they have not told their closest family and friends. That they will put their trust in you. On meeting you, they will disrobe and allow you to place your hands on them and examine them. They will take medications that can save them or harm them. People will call you doctor, and because of that, listen to you more carefully. You have a voice that is so loud as an individual and as a class. What will you use it for? Single mother or father with her disabled, sick child would do anything for your voice, your privilege, and knowledge. You as individuals can influence policy, shape society if you choose. And so, I wonder what game you'll end up playing. The single biggest factor that drives health in a population is how income is distributed and the gap between the rich and poor. The future holds a disruption of employment that is making extreme winners and losers. I know you're going to win. Voices are becoming loud that try to separate people and play groups against each other. And our profession at times has been used as an instrument of intelligence, in arguments for some of the greatest atrocities. Eugenics in the 30s, defending against sanitation in the 1800s, and even today with our narcotic crisis, where we were used as instruments to create addiction. The rest of the 1% surrounds himself by the 1% and believes they're the 90%. They actually don't get the opportunity or the responsibility to meet the population. This is where you are different. Appendicitis and pancreatic cancer are less discerning, and they bring all types to our doors. You might even notice that it brings more people who have not had the opportunity that wealth gives. See, that is your responsibility. You have privilege, intelligence, status, and through your work, you are connected to the population. You have earned so much, and your work, talent, and energy needs to be rewarded. Please don't forget that you can swim because you were put in swimming lessons. Maybe one or two of you defied the odds, but most of us have been nurtured. We've had opportunity for many that's not true. You should feel pride, but know how important your voice is, and that our health of our population isn't dependent upon our ability to take care of all of us. I actually fear for the people who are not in this room. And I believe if you don't fight for their inches with all your talent and training, then your oath you take will be for the few. It does not mean that you need to go on a crusade. And wisdom is knowing when to fight. And if you are fighting every day, then it's you, not them. But you will know in those moments, and I guess that is what social responsibility means. And I know you're going to make us proud. That is my message to you. Fight for every inch and compete hard, but use that powerful voice and your talent for us all. So before I end, I want to thank a few people. To the faculty and to the leaders, to the people who have applied me, and to the people who are not. I would like to thank you on behalf of the graduating class for dedicating your lives to building a future profession. You could have done anything, but you have chosen to build people like the ones that are here with us today. To the graduating class, I know you will have patients die, errors made, lives saved, but you have chosen the best career there is, and you will work hard to be the best you can. I want you to take a moment, look at your family, turn around, look at your friends, and on your behalf, I'm going to say to them, thank you for taking me to swimming lessons and building me. I want to make you proud. I needed you then, and I want to always. But I'll also need you in the future, even if I do not ask. To the families, partners, and friends, may I speak on your behalf to the graduating class. We have loved you. We are so proud of you. We will support you. And we know you will need continued support. And we wish for your happiness and your peace. See, that's the funny thing, how in the end we're so intertwined and need each other from so many different ways. No matter how fast we can run or how quick we can do the math. If you zoom out wide enough, you can see that we're all together. Those people outside our walls need us as well. And I know this graduating class will create not only healthy people, but a healthy society. Oh, I almost forgot about that. He swooped up the ball, took the runner, and I swear time stood still. Our eyes met. He threw the ball hard and just far enough from the first baseman that it went off his glove. You see, Patrick knew exactly what that could catch. Charlie got on base, and the team won. And Patrick walked directly towards me. And he started to say, "You know I missed." I gave him a big hug, and I said, "I know you did," and it was one of my proudest days. I saw Patrick smile as the team hugged Charlie for the first time. Charlie's mom called me the next day and said Charlie had the best day of his life. And in that moment, that 11-year-old boy, with all of his ferocity and drive, he was still fighting for inches. But in that moment, he zoomed out and realized he was part of a larger game. He realized that the greater good was one less out for him and maybe the happiest moment of that person's life. And let me tell you, I've seen enough life to know that Charlie, now in his 40s, has had few cheers and much pain. And Patrick has had many wins. And I'd like to believe that Patrick might not just be successful at something, but a successful person. If you get out of this story that you have to not try so a weaker person can win, then I'm sorry, you completely missed the point. But if you understand that one of the greatest challenges people face is the need and desire to leave it all on the field, and that while fighting for inches, you can get lost, and maybe you've gained some perspective. You see, our true and lasting heroes are those who talk about peace, togetherness, and give their lives for our community. Their ferocity remains, but their wisdom allows them to zoom in and out to see the context of how not just to truly leave it on the field, but somehow to always know the way. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your moment, and congratulations.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Brock Ripple, the Associate Dean of Clinical Medicine for Saba University School of Medicine. All of us, the Saba Deans and the entire clinical staff, share responsibility for helping our students, your sons and daughters, and friends, requirements for their medical degree, and thus be here today at Commencement. We serve as coaches, guides, and mentors. We help acquire the knowledge that you need to be doctors. We pay particular attention to teaching the professional and ethical aspects of that profession. As part of our tradition, at commencement, each school identifies a student to speak on behalf of the school to all of us, graduating fellow students, the speaker, the families, the friends, the faculty. Saba has asked Kader Patel to be Saba's student speaker today, and as Kader winds his way up to the podium, I will introduce him. From Brampton, Ontario, Kader attended University of Waterloo for his undergraduate studies and will soon begin internal medicine training at the St. Providence Hospital in Michigan. He completed basic sciences with the Dean's Basic Science Award, the Dean's List, and the Honors List. He was head TA for several basic science classes, vice president of the student government, and treasurer for the South Asian Society. He has volunteered on the Prosper program, the Happiness program at the Ontario, as well as the Benevolent Foundation Livers Home in Sweden. On top of this, he plays the guitar. He has earned high scores in grades and received glowing comments from his teachers, and even more, he was admired and warmly liked by everyone, his peers, the faculty, and his clinical teachers. We're confident he will make a wonderful physician. Welcome, Kate.
Thank you, Dr. Ripple, for the introduction. Faculty, our guests, students, friends, family, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming today to celebrate this milestone in the lives of these incredible students. I have had the distinct privilege of working alongside and knowing many of them, and being spectator and participant of their journey throughout medical school. It is my hope that my address today will do justice to the adventures they have had these past few years. But first, to friends and family, on behalf of the students, I offer you my sincerest gratitude. Despite being hundreds or thousands of miles apart, you are available every step of the way to offer guidance, advice, or simply an ear. Without you, we would not have made it this far. Thank you for your love and support. Students, classmates, doctors, now that we're getting into this, I want to tell you a story. Those who know me know that I love stories. I've always found that great stories inspire us to go further, to be better, and to grow. Ironically, when Dr. Ripple reached out to me and started writing this address, I was in the Himalayas, visiting caves, ancient ruins, temples, and palaces with beautiful artwork depicting some of humanity's oldest stories. Interestingly, a common theme amongst these great epics is a tale of adventure that's filled with emotional, physical, and often moral challenges. By facing these challenges, our heroes become more courageous and resilient, develop their individual identity, and make incredible friends along the way. While writing this address, I thought, well, in many ways, isn't that the Saba story? My friends, these last few years, you have lived a great epic that started with the decision to pursue your dreams. you packed your bags and boarded planes destined for a small island off the coast of St. Martin. A small 15-passenger plane landed on the edge of a cliff in an area that's ironically known as Hell's Gate. And this is where a great chapter of your journey began. For some, the challenges began immediately with adapting to a new environment inhabited by roaming goats, chickens, crabs, and very large, majestic iguanas. Some were tested by the might of violent hurricanes and tropical storms, while for others, for the first time, you were far from family, friends, and your support network. Regardless of what your early challenges were, you faced them, prevailed, and grew along the way. It wasn't long before you faced the anatomy armada, with Dr. Tom, Nico, and Colin bombarding you with anatomical landmarks, muscle insertions, functions, arteries, veins, and nerves. And of course, we can't forget Dr. Indran and Dr. Maui's very detailed lectures on histology. Many of us weren't sure how to keep up with the volume. We sought advice from our upperclassmen and classmates, who worked day and night with periodic breaks to save the wishes or the bottom beam, attended Dr. Khan's weekend reviews, and once again, we did it. We got better at learning and absorbing information. We learned to set our egos aside and ask for help. And also, we learned to help others by being teachers to our classmates. Soon we were ready to face the next challenge, our second semester, armed with Dr. Robson's beautifully coordinated dresses and the dreaded triple blocks. For those who don't know, a triple block was 3 exams back to back every 3 weeks. In our second semester, these included infectious diseases, biochemistry, and genetics. The pressure was on and the volume was more than many of us thought we could handle. We had learned to identify our weaknesses, prioritize tasks, and adapt our learning styles for the increasing volume. By learning, growing, and helping each other, we made it through to what was possibly the climax of our time on the island, the third semester. Oh boy, this was the semester everyone talked about right from the get-go. If you didn't think you were drowning before, now you're being waterboarded with barely a second to breathe. I see some of you grinning. I'm sure it's because of the fond memories of Dr. Bolo's famous 300 slides per hour lectures, coupled with psychiatry, pharmacology, neuroscience, pathology, epidemiology, and ethics. And yet again, you did it. You dug deeper, you worked harder, and you made it through. Many of you also learned more about yourselves, became mentors, teachers, and leaders to your colleagues. You soon wrote your USMLEs, worked through your 24-hour call shift, and fumbled your way through your first patient encounters, trying desperately to remember your mnemonics. You butchered your first patient presentation, maybe you're attending story a new one for it, but then you nailed the next one. You participated in your first codes, made your first mistakes, and ultimately survived your clinical rotations during the peak of COVID. You experienced incredible highs and deep lows along the way, and through them, you became more tenacious, more courageous, and developed extraordinary work ethic. All of these experiences from the very beginning to the very end, they molded us. They gave us the confidence to march forward and tackle any problem that was thrown our way. This, my friends, is what great stories are made of. Adventure, challenge, courage, teamwork, and growth. The journey you've chosen, the path of a physician, is an incredible one and will make for a great story. Or so I'm told. And this day marks the end of one chapter in that story, but it also marks the beginning of the next. And this next chapter will again be filled with challenges. With what you've learned the last few years, I'm confident you will rise to meet them. Having witnessed the skills you've developed and the individuals you've become, I know that you will be both a gift and a blessing to the patients and communities you serve in this upcoming chapter. Keep writing your stories. I look forward to hearing all about them. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Paula Habib, and I'm the Associate Dean of Clinical Medicine at the Medical University of the Americas. Today, it is my honor to introduce the commencement speaker for MUA. I am, of course, excited because Teja Vasa was an outstanding student who is now starting the next phase of his amazing journey in medicine. Just a few weeks from now, he will begin his internal medicine residency at HCA Florida at Largo Medical Center, his top choice residency program. But I'm also very excited because as I have gotten to know more about Teja, I have come to recognize that his best qualities are a reflection of the best qualities of all MUA students. Humility. When discussing his outstanding performance in basic sciences, Teja never spoke of the hard work, the effort, and the persistence that he exhibited on a daily basis. Rather, Teja immediately listed the many faculty members and staff whom he credits with enabling him to succeed throughout the basic sciences. Talent. Some of the ways Teja was described during clinical medicine include excellent team player, outstanding initiative with patients, highly professional, great communicator, engaging, empathetic, enthusiastic, and knowledgeable. Perhaps most importantly, gratitude. Teja understands that he did not reach this milestone in his training alone. As a proud first-generation immigrant from India, raised in New Jersey, Teja credits his parents, his grandparents, his extended family, and the people from the Asian subcontinent who inspired his love and his passion for medicine. And like each of the other graduates in the audience today, he understands that there are no words to just express his gratitude for the support, the sacrifice, the love, and the patience he has received from his family. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce you to Dr. Teja Vasa.
Thank you, Dr. Habib. That was a great introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, respected faculty and fellow graduates, good morning. Today, we stand at the edge of one journey and the beginning of another. The culmination of years of steadfast discipline, tireless study, and countless grueling exams. Let me extend my congratulations to each and every one of you. We have conquered innumerable hurdles, navigated the labyrinth of medical theory, and have begun to master the art of saving lives. As we reflect on our remarkable voyage through medical school, let us take a moment to remember our first couple of days on the island and our journey as starry-eyed medical students. Many of us can recall the day we flew thousands of miles away from home to arrive in St. Kitts, leaving behind family, friends, and everything we knew. The ferry to Nevis was quite ominous due to the imposing backdrop of Mount Nevis just towering in the background. Throughout the journey from St. Kitts to Nevis, I was accompanied by many of my peers who were just daunted, filled with self-doubt, worried about the future undertaking they were about to embark on. The first month and the first semester on the island were also quite overwhelming. The untimely sounds of cows and donkeys braying the night before exams replaced the familiar sounds of car horns and sirens. The briny smell of the sea and the sweltering, blistering heat from the Caribbean sun was a jarring concept as opposed to shifting seasons. And with this changing climate came hurricane season. Many of us can vividly recall the experience of Hurricane Maria, where we had to take shelter with newfound friends and adapt to extenuating circumstances many of us have never faced before, such as not having electricity, no means of transportation, and no means of contact. And this is not to mention studying for exams and some of my peers having classes on weekends. After 5 arduous semesters and surviving a relentless exam schedule in Med 5, we were to begin clinical rotations when the COVID pandemic occurred. And many of us can recall when the COVID pandemic occurred, we were rotating through hospitals during this time, learning and functioning in any capacity that we could. And we were on the front lines. If not for the front lines, some of my peers were stuck in studying purgatory, waiting for exam centers to open up, months on end. But once again, we overcame tremendous odds. And we finished our last 2 strenuous years of training, rotating through hospitals all over the nation. And finally, we stand here today, celebrating the tremendous grit, ambition, and discipline that we displayed during this tumultuous journey. It is said that overcoming difficulty and displaying grit is a true mark of greatness. As medical students, we've experienced our fair share of trials and tribulations, from deciphering the intricacies of pathology and physiology to poring over the extremely intricate guidelines and workups. We have faced challenges that would make even the most stoic among us consider a career change. But here we are, as resilient as ever, moving on to the next chapter of our lives. As Albert Einstein once said, adversity introduces a man to himself. We've become masters of multitasking, juggling lectures, clinical rotations, and sometimes the semblance of a social life. It's safe to say that we've become experts in balancing the scales of knowledge and personal well-being. And moving forward, it's going to be extremely important to balance this, our tenacity and the ability to balance the multiple facets of our lives. And this is going to be a fundamental and cornerstone to our success in medical residence. Next, discipline, the steadfast commitment to our studies, our patients, and our personal growth. As students, our days have been filled with unending responsibilities, balancing academics, clinical duties, and once again, the pursuit of a social life. We perfected the art of multitasking, scribbling notes while listening intently, waking up at the crack of dawn for rounds, and still finding time to binge watch our favorite Netflix TV shows. As medical residents, discipline is not just about waking up early or meticulously color-coding your notes. It's about that unwavering commitment to our patients, to showing up day after day, ready to learn, ready to grow, and ready to become the best versions of ourselves. It's the backbone of our success so far, and as we continue into the future, it will carry us into our next chapter of our lives. Lastly, ambition, the burning desire to make a difference and achieve something great. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once famously said, the only person you are destined to be is the person you decide to be. Well, my fellow graduates, we have decided to become doctors, and that speaks volumes about our ambition and the bright future that lies ahead. Ambition is what pushed us to study deep into the night, to excel in our exams, and to push past the limits that we thought we had. And it's what made us dream big and strive for greatness. And as we move on to the next chapter of our lives, ambition will be that fire within us, that burning desire to make a difference in the lives of others, and to bring hope and healing to those who need it most. Before I conclude, I'd like to leave you with one final thought. Dr. Sanjay Gupta once said, curiosity is the key that unlocks the door to knowledge, allowing physicians to learn and grow their understanding of the human body and its complexities. As we move forward, let us carry the spark of curiosity, never ceasing to explore or expand our understanding. Curiosity is what drives us to question, to seek answers, to constantly push the boundaries of our knowledge. So let us embrace this insatiable curiosity, for it is through continuous learning and growth that we may advance ourselves as competent physicians. Finally, to our faculty and administrators, thank you for the opportunity to study medicine and as well as facilitating our learning. To our friends and families, thank you for being our rock, our unwavering support during the storms of medical school. And to my fellow graduates, thank you once again for showing up and being who you guys are. Let us celebrate the incredible potential that lies in each one of us. As we move forward, let us remember the words of Mary Curie, who said, "Nothing in life is to be feared, only to be understood. It is now the time to understand more so that we may fear less. Let our character guide us on our path of learning, empathy, and understanding. May our grit, discipline, and ambition, and insatiable curiosity guide us to heights we've never dreamed possible. We have accomplished something truly remarkable today, and I cannot wait to see the incredible impact that we make in the world." Thank you once again.
Well, SABIC graduates, we have arrived at that moment. We will now recognize the SABIC graduates and then the MUA graduates for having attained their medical degrees. During this commencement ceremony, the school recognizes students who have performed at a very high level. The Dean of Basic Science Award goes in recognition of the student with the highest academic class average in the basic sciences. The Student Excellence Award is in recognition of the student who demonstrated overall academic excellence, as well as contributions to the student body, the school, and the community. And the Clinical Medicine Award, in which the school acknowledges those students who excelled in their clinical performance as determined by a combination of USMLE scores and clinical grades. We will identify those award recipients as they are called. So, let us begin. Dr. K.R. Patel is a recipient of the Clinical Medicine Award. Dr. Balbina Wangechi Kikiri. Dr. Anjuli Kriya Shah. Dr. Lauren K. Mays. Dr. Brandon Nightingale. Dr. Jason Linder. Dr. Ranjit Kumar Nair. Dr. Jennifer Monteclara. Dr. Rohit Kumar Nair. Dr. Jessica Savannah Vasanathan. Dr. Harleen Kaur Neelan. Dr. Christiana Gloria Peterson. Dr. Vivian Rutabingwa. Dr. Samantha Nashat Garas. Dr. Lin Echingqueng. Dr. Donnell Demi Dockery Joseph. Dr. Konstantinos Grillas. Dr. Usman Siddiqui. Dr. Morgan Lee Birrell. Dr. Mohammed Tassir Yunus. Dr. Fadi Halul. Dr. Nadia Behram. Dr. Farah Awad. Dr. Alina Zeletska. Dr. Sadia Malik. Dr. Mark Sharabin. Dr. Christian Fernando Saavedra Duran. Dr. Jennifer Sayers. Dr. Marie Georgiou. Dr. Eugenie Sylvie Martineau Lacharite. Dr. Viraj Bhatt. Dr. Zeel Adeshra. Dr. Vivin Sohal. Dr. Jonathan Max Stern. Dr. David Donald McNichol. Dr. Bradley Philip Ecott. Dr. Madeline Frances Monahan. Dr. Christina Lucia Rosa Carafagnini. Dr. Tyler St. Louis. Dr. St. Louis is also a recipient of the Clinical Medicine Award. Dr. Susan Feldman. Dr. Mohit Nakwal. Dr. Rohan Bhan. Dr. Bhan is a recipient of the Student Excellence Award. Dr. Prabhu Kaur Bath. Dr. Oladipupo Timilolula Dinhinbo. Dr. Samit Saini. Dr. Priyanka Bhatt. Dr. Simranjit Nasan. Dr. Sampark Sarmadi. Dr. Diane Elizabeth Epen. Dr. Epen is also a recipient of a Clinical Medicine Award. Dr. Anjuli Priya Singh.
Tyrone Deschamps. Tosan Bettina Ejuse. Dr. Dajia Lakendra King. I'm sorry. Dr. Deja Lakendra King. Dr. Robert Iwan. Dr. Rayad Mohammed Williams. Dr. Oluwaseun Sylvester Williams. Dr. Hassad Ahmed. Dr. Ala Amansoud. Dr. Manhaman Singh. Dr. Enoch Augustine. Dr. Ravindi Nandasena Gunasekara. Dr. Mursal Naisan. Dr. Dominique Dionès Dagdag. Dr. Divya Lakshmi Yaramseti. Dr. Maheen Mirza. Dr. Mirza is also the recipient of the Dean of Clinical Medicine. Dr. Teja Sai Hasa. Dr. Vasa is also the recipient of the Dean of Basic Science Award. Dr. Christina Dilisi. Dr. Mashal Nathani. Dr. Adina Ashanti David. Dr. Jennifer Rodriguez Santoni. Dr. Rahima Togir. Dr. Hina Malik. Dr. Safiq Noon. Dr. Katie Kelly. Dr. Sarah Zubair.
Hello, I'm Joan Carter. I'm the head of Alumni Affairs for Saba University School of Medicine and for Medical University of the Americas. Congratulations! What an auspicious occasion it is. It's my great privilege to stand before an audience as full of promise and potential as this one. You have all persevered during your basic sciences curriculum, showed up early and stayed late through all those clinical rotations. You powered through those moments of despair, overcome those seemingly insurmountable hurdles, and sit here today receiving your well-earned degree. I'd be remiss if I did not reflect on the fact that each one of you accomplished all of these academic goals in the midst of a global pandemic. So, bravo. I offer you congratulations and hereby confer on each of you lifetime membership in the SABA and MUA Alumni Associations. Welcome to your alumni family. You are now part of our natural history, and we depend upon you to represent us well and serve as ambassadors of the school. Your fellow alumni are rooting for you and want you to be successful in your chosen field as they have been in theirs. By your words and deeds, you will inspire others to become part of the SABA and MUA communities. We ask you to help those who will follow in your footsteps by mentoring and supporting them, helping them to set on the path to achieve their dream, just as you have achieved yours. Importantly, as graduates, you matter to us. For our part, we firmly believe that once a SABA or MUA student, always a SABA or MUA student. We remain here for you, and you will always have a connection to us. For many years, I've been speaking with the graduates who have gone before you, and there are certain phrases and statements that I hear consistently when I ask them to share their story. Perhaps no surprise to you, I hear about the tight-knit community on the island and how they made their very best friends. I hear how they are in each other's weddings and how they were such a great support to each other through all those medical school years. Perhaps most importantly, though, I hear them say how very grateful they are that SABA and MUA gave them the opportunity to become doctors and provided them the chance to fulfill their dream. Let me share just a very few testimonials from graduates that I've recently spoken with. Amber from SABA said, "I'm beyond thrilled to start this beautiful journey as a neurologist. Reflecting on my experience, SABA made my most desired dream come true and taught me the confidence and perseverance to be an outstanding physician." Harpreet from MUA said, "MUA gave me such a strong foundation and the opportunity I needed to get this match. I am forever grateful." And lastly, Jennifer said about SABA, "I took a leap of faith and it was the best thing that ever happened to me." So as you go forth into your life as a doctor, helping and saving lives, please share the opportunity that SABA and MUA provide with others who have the very same dreams that you had those short years ago. Stay fiercely, joyously connected to the friends you have made here, to those you love and trust. You will have each other's backs for the rest of your lives. Make sure also to generously share your success and inspiration with others who dream of one day becoming a doctor. Let them know that SABA and MUA are here to help make those dreams come true. Thank you and congratulations.
Well, we're almost done. This is the moment we've all been waiting for, the Hippocratic Oath. Will the graduates please stand? And I believe there is a copy of the oath on the program. So how this works is I say a line, and hopefully you can repeat that line in unison. I solemnly pledge myself to consecrate my life to the service of humanity. I will give my teachers the respect and gratitude which is their due. I will practice my profession with competence and dignity. The health of my patient will be my first consideration. We will respect the secrets which are confided in me even after the patient has died. I will maintain by all the means in my power the honor and the noble traditions of the profession of medicine. There's a small edit to this next one. My colleagues will be my sisters and brothers. I will not permit consideration of religion, nationality, race, party politics, or social standing to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will maintain the utmost respect for the human life from its beginning, even under threat, and I will not use my medical knowledge contrary to the laws of humanity. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Congratulations, MUA SEBA physicians.